It's not a good report. Well, the body of the missing IBC Embakasi East constituency returning officer Daniel Musyoka will remain at the Loitoktok Sub-County Hospital mortuary awaiting post-mortem by government pathologists, and this is according to the police.
The DCI officers from Embakasi Forensic Unit are working hand in hand with their counterparts from Kajiado County to secure the crime scene and as investigations commence. Now, detectives say the deceased could have been detained elsewhere before being murdered and his body dumped in Loitoktok, which is where it was discovered.
Well, Loitoktok Sub-County Police Commander Shadrack Kiprop Ruto says the area is usually busy with herdsmen in search of pasture, and this explains why perhaps the body was discovered shortly after being dumped. The body was discovered on Monday evening by these herdsmen who reported the matter to the police.
Relatives of the deceased have positively identified the body this morning, and our Ngina Kirori is on the ground and is going to be giving us an update on the same. Ngina, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. Maybe you could give us an update from the ground. What is the situation there in this unfortunate incident?
All right, thanks a lot, Dan. Yes, indeed. Yesterday, a group of herders were grazing past this area where I'm standing right now when they happened to come across the body of the late Daniel Musyoka. And where I'm standing is actually where his body was found, just here in the forest, just near the Loitoktok Sub-County Hospital. And I am actually joined here by a park ranger in the forest, Mr. Dix, who's going to tell us a bit more about what he saw. He actually saw the body once it was in this area. So, Dixon, karibia tafadhali. Asante sana kwa kuungana nasi hapa NTV. Naomba wanze na jina yako, alafu tuambie uliona nini vile ulifika eneo hili.
Naitwa Dixon Nairoti. Mimi ni mfanyakazi wa forest, na nilipokuwa nimetoka katika patrol yangu, nilikutana na watu watatu wamesimama pale njiani, wakasema mchungaji alitoka akawaambia kuna mwili imelala. So that niliweza kuja na nikashuhudia, ikawa nguo zimewekwa kando, ako uchi, na ndiposa na mimi nikachukua jukumu kwenda kwa mabalozi, nikawaeleza wa mabalozi, na polisi wakaja mwendo wa saa 12, tukachukua ile mwili tukaipeleka mochari. Yeah.
Na kuna kitu kama hii imewahi fanyika kwa eneo hili?
Hii ni mara ya pili. Kwa hivyo mara ya kwanza ilikuwa ni mwanamke ambao tulimpata hana mguu na ametupwa kwa mto, na wakati hiyo kulikuwa ni wakati wa El Nino. Hii mvua kubwa hii, na akabebwa na maji, akatupwa mtoni, akabebwa na maji, tukampata kule chini. Yeah.
Na labda unaweza kutueleza wakazi wamesema nini kuhusu hii matokeo?
Wamelalamika sana na wameumia. Sisi wenyewe kwanza tuko na uchungu, kwa sababu wote ni wazazi. Kama ni mtoto wako, je, wewe utasikiaje? Yeah.
Naam, asante sana Dixon. So Dan, that's just a sentiment of one of the park rangers here in the area who was actually moving about here, just doing his surveillance when he happened to come across the body, and he reported it to the police. And speaking of the police, we do know that they were here earlier today morning processing the scene, and they took away some of the items that were found near the scene, which, as Dixon said, were some of the clothing that was found near the late Daniel Musyoka's body. And we do know that we're expecting the post-mortem to be conducted tomorrow morning at Loitoktok Sub-County Hospital, right here in the area that I'm at. We do also know that the late Daniel Musyoka, for those who don't know, had been an IEBC returning officer at Embakasi East, but he had actually previously done some work with IEBC before, and I believe this was his second election that he was presiding over. But you know that on 11th August at around 9:30 a.m. while he was at the East Africa Aviation Center, which was a tallying center at that time, he stepped outside to receive a phone call, and he never came back, prompting a search mission by his family and friends. But that search has ended tragically as of yesterday, when the herders who are grazing about this area came across his body. So we're going to look into what the post-mortem results will bring about, maybe shed a few more details on what happened in the last hours of the late Daniel Musyoka's life. We did meet some of his family and friends at Loitoktok police station, and they said that he was quite a humble man, a soft-spoken man, a man of integrity. That's what a lot of people who are describing him are saying about him. And they're saying that they hope that justice will take place, and that hopefully they'll get a few more answers on what could have taken place. But for now, I'm going to hand it back to you in studio as we continue to investigate for ourselves also what happened here and getting the sentiments of the different residents around here. But for now, I'm going to return it back to you in studio.
Our very own Gina Kirori keeping tabs with the developing situation there in Loitoktok.